Today I shall discuss about my personal experiences on geotechnical engineering. I have started at 1968 and till now I am in the same field of geotechnical engineering. In our days it was known as soil mechanics only. Later on it became soil mechanics and foundation engineering. Recently, it was renamed again Geotechnical Engineering. Whatever it may be, it is basically engineering properties of soil formation, soil or rock or any kind of material exists in our earth crust, and those application of those parameters in design and planning of foundation of structures. During my early part of professional life, I was mostly busy with field work all over the northeast India and neighboring countries like Bhutan, Nepal, and Bangladesh. I would like to say one important thing. My first work of my life was very small work. One of my close friends who had planning for construction of a single story building with a provision of another more story over that. And after excavation of the foundation trenches, I was invited to see the foundation pit whether the design soil pressure was 10 ton per square meter is sufficient or more. That time detailed analysis are mostly not considered by the builders and other engineers too. There is some standard handbook, engineering handbooks, most popularly that time P.N. Khanna's handbook, where there are some specific values are given. For hard soil it is 15 ton, for medium soil it is 10 ton, or for uh, loose soil there will be some densification. The driving pile, driving by timber sectional. That is 2 inch by 2 inch, that is 50 millimeter by 50 millimeter should be driven for improvement of the weak soil. And that I was taken to the site and I have visited. I find that it is much more than the 10 ton. So I said that it is all right. And on returning, the gentleman had gave me 20 rupees. I was quite happy because half hour visit, I am getting 20 rupees for half hour visit. During that time, daily wages earner was getting 1 rupee 35 paisa. So I am getting at half an hour to 20 rupees. So it is very high amount for me. That 20 rupees, of course, it became absolute now, still with me, and I am keeping it my one old trunk. And next work was when there is some little publicity. Next work I am getting at a cost of 200. I was very happy and I feel it is God gifted. Nevertheless, during this long period, I am very much fortunate to interact several thousands people, including renowned engineers, knowledgeable persons, big builders, skilled and unskilled workmanship. Today, I can proudly say that I do consider everybody as a school of learning. I do not know why people love me so much. Perhaps maybe due to my politeness or my simplicity. I am very simple and easily approachable, accessible, so people love me very much. I am always saying that almost everywhere where I happen to visit, there are there are three there are five letters in engineer or engineering. These are ENGIR. Rest is a repetition of same letters. Rest all 36 letters. That is 26 letters and 10 numericals. We require to learn from the situation, fellow workmen, and surroundings. Most of us may think that how an ordinary labor, a daily wages, ordinary labor can teach us a highly qualified engineer in complex engineering problems. To this constant context, initially I had this conception too in my mind. Fortunately, more I grow, more I pull. I, and at my middle age, I realized that I do not know ABC of anything. I am saying everybody is the school of learning, and where I where I go, I am always saying that I do not know ABC of anything. In support of my statement, I am just presenting here one story of my experience. Long back, few open trial pits were made for design and construction of a multi-story building at Guwahati. I engaged few Hindustani workmen. In those days, all Bihari peoples coming from Bihar and UP, they are termed as Hindustani. Hindustani means those who are speaking Hindi, we term them Hindustani. This was the pit we have excavated. This was the pit. The pit was to ascertain the formation up to a 3 meter depth we have excavated. This was the pit, trial pit. During the soil formation simply constituted a braid hill soil. I have collected few tube samples, that is undisturbed samples for determination of engineering properties of soil. It was a cross verification of work since the earlier consultant, this geotechnical consultant, had recommended 12-meter long board pile, but the builder disagreed for the pile foundation. During excavation and sampling operation, one workman said, "साहब ये बिल्डिंग बैठेगा नहीं." First, it hurt my ego. How an ordinary people cannot say that the building will be not settled down? But I surprised to hear his conception, his experience, and his knowledge. He further added, हम 10-15 साल से ही काम कर रहा हूँ, कितना बिल्डिंग का काम किया. Then I realized he has something. His experience is quite appreciable and praiseworthy. I do salute his knowledge with great regards and obeisance. Even today, we require about a month for calculation of anticipating settlement, first sampling, then testing, then computation and compilation of field and laboratory test results. It will require not less than 1 month. At least some can calculate it earlier, but I require at least 1 month. This is, you see, that that simple idea I got from the ordinary worker, ordinary workman, who even at the time of taking his daily wages, he put his thumb, but his in, intellect and his intuition make him so powerful, so wise, and so knowledgeable that he can say whether there will be settlement or not. It is a praiseworthy conception of experience. In many project, consultants preferring for pile foundation where shallow foundation may easily be provided. I do not know why. Maybe due to fear of earthquake or maybe some other reasons. Once there was an argument, we can say the hot argument between the client and his consultant and with me when they are saying more about earthquake. I finally, why you are afraid of earthquake? We know that the average, once upon a time, average Mount Everest was under the sea, and it may so happen history may reoccur, and this place may be under the sea. After a few years back, the client conveyed his gratitude to me for saving few crores of rupees. I have replaced many deep pile foundations at many tall buildings with shallow foundation where clients are highly benefited. The basic duty of an engineer: first, safety of structure; second, economy; third, whether available resources is sufficient for construction or not. Normally most of us, I am not referring any name, most of us, we are sitting in AC room and just we are calculating and we are submitting. We do not visit this site. We do not know what are the resources are available nearby and how much other facilities there, the transportation and water facilities, whether these are available or not. We do not consider these aspects, and time also essence of all projects. If we can complete a 2 years work in a 1 year, then our earning will be first. Our basic purpose, we are going to construct a building. What is our own requirement? How much we need? We need 1,000 feet or 15,000, 1,500 feet, square feet. This much area we require for a family. Of a Indian family, not more than that. We do not require 4,000 square feet or 5,000 square feet. Indian family does not require that. Our requirement is very less. 1,000 to 2,000 is more than sufficient for Indian family. So, Rest we are constructing 6-story building, 8-story building, 10-story building, either to sell. Of course, during that period, in early period, the selling concept was not there, only used for rented purpose. That means we are giving to on rent means we are earning 1 year earning earlier is much better than waiting another 1 year. So, time has an important role in all projects. Next, about 5 6 years back, I was invited by one of my esteemed clients to visit a construction project where some construction problems were noticed. After visiting the site, I was given a soil report and I studied the report casually. I was surprised to note that the soil formation was consisted of friable single grain means poorly graded, medium grain sand in loose alluvial sand, having water level at about 1 meter below the ground level against the provided foundation depth of 3 meters below the ground level. Now you see that consultant did not consider the behavior of soil underwater. Sand is necessarily very friable, so when it is highly pervious when excavating and removing the excavated spoils, water will be coming, and finally what happened? Finally, this is you see. Finally, at the base, it became slurry. It is there is no soil. It is slurry only. We cannot put any structure here. So this is the conditions because we I am since saying I am saying all this for young engineers, basically those who are starting their practice or those who are in government service also joining very recently. Uh, this all these conditions you have to assert it, you have to develop in your brain with various site inspection and other discussion with. It not necessarily the one should discuss all this matter with some high profile engineers or some big professors. Not necessarily we can we can approach some local people also, local ordinary people, those who are just living there. They can well know about this type of behavior during water level conditions. So I have already said that during excavation below 1 meter, that is water level, sand boiling started. An entire pit transformed to slurrying state. After visiting 6 foundation pit, I discussed the matter details with alternatives with the clients and builders for best suitable solution. There are basically two hurdles, major hurdles. One is contract cannot be modified since it is a foreign aided project. Foreign aided project means once we have finalized the proposed technical proposal and financial proposal after scrutinizing many aspects by that country, the expert of that country, the sanctioned, and there shall not be no modification, no redesign or anything. At the same time, the builder did not agree to execute extra work free of cost. Both are based on uh, perfectness. Because why a builder will do free work? Who will give him all the materials, extra works? So there are I finally told them there are two options only: lowering of water level, which shall be more costly than the total project cost. We have to make some deep make some deep well and use some high quality pumps to drain out the subsoil water level. Gradually it will be lowering down. It may require 10-15 days to attain that level. And at the same time we have to remove the excavated spoils. Our next option is raising up ground level by another 2 meters. Another problem was that the structure based on designed on overturning load. So we have to put sufficient surcharge soil weight above the foundation to resist against the overturning forces. And I cannot say anything on the there was a blunder mistake in soil report. It it is not wise for me to say anything since the agency is level accredited with galaxy of PhD engineers. However, finally it was decided to adopt foundation at 2.5 meter below and 0.5 meter soil surface will be above the existing ground level. That means uh, this excavated soil will be put at ground and we shall go excavate up to 2.5 meter, making some shuttering or scaffolds or anything. And we put during excavation we put some man-sized boulder shall be filled up at the cutting during cutting during excavated at the cutting slope and finally at the bottom of the foundation base or below the PCC. So you see, if in this type of circumstances one should conceive the idea that this will be the happenings at the time of excavation and execution. Then we easily alternative foundations are there. I would like to add here that in this type of highly pervious loose sandy formation, short pile foundation is best suited proposition in terms of cost and time. As I told, time is also a construction material nowadays. Time is not only essence but it is construction material. High-tech method like lowering of water level, bentonite grouting or cement grouting, it will be all that grouting, are very good to hear only. One should consider the cost impact also. It is very good. The bentonite grouting, it will resist the water, but the cost impact no one should consider. In my opinion, the basic duty of geotechnical engineer, the foundation cost minimum shall be minimum as far as practicable and trouble-free execution also an important part of the geotechnical engineering. During early 80s, a project construction of residential building G+3 had started at HUMBLY, Guwahati. HUMBLY, it is a part of the Guwahati, the main original old city. Originally there was a single-story building constructed during British rule. During excavation of foundation trenches, it is it had presumed that the foundation soil up to a depth of 3-4 meters, very soft, compressible, silty clay almost in quick stick. My friend late Indrajit Barua was once he was also working with me together. One fine morning took me there and we carefully observed the foundation piece. We were discussing what to do and what not to do. All of a sudden, a bamboo bush, which in Assam it is called Barua, in Barak Barua bamboo, and in some part of Barak Valley and Assam, in Manipur, Imphal, and Mizoram also it is termed as Bholuka bamboo and Barua bamboo. At one corner of the plot, I suggested for bamboo piling, all laughed at me. Hearing bamboo pile, they have shouted and laughing. My conception was that under the under the underwater condition, the longevity of bamboos are much higher than timber, and driving of bamboo shall surely make the foundation soil dense, and it will be less time consuming since the surface of the bamboos are very smooth and polished, so it can easily be driven up to the required depth. On a trial basis, since I am going there and my friend was there also, on trial basis, two foundation pitch bamboo piling shall be taken up, and after few days I was again took the side. That day for Thanksgiving, loudly Mr. Boyer said, "You should be awarded P." P is actually it is an American term. This professional engineer. It is little like our chartered engineers, but it is uh, all over the world. P's are little above than our chartered engineers. I asked I asked Mr. Borua, for what? Any crime I did? We see we see the foundation transit and surprised. The base was totally dry. Earlier the bottom was wet. Where the water had gone? The, Perhaps the poor water penetrated below along the smooth surface of the bamboo. Only this, only to save these are because these are probably first G plus 3, then it may be G plus 5 or like that. So uh, additional bracing was not provided in structural design, but additional bracing was provided to minimize the movement of the structure, movement of the columns. After 5 7 years back, that that building was completed and they have that building still in very intact and good condition. I have when I am going that side, even I casually saw what is the structure on the basis of on the above bamboo piling. About 5 7 years back, a four-story building was constructed on bamboo piles, but bamboo piles are not load-bearing members. This shall simply improve the ground condition only where shallow foundation can easily be provided. This is the picture, one picture. It was claimed to be very hard mud stone. It was considered as very hard mud stone. Mud stones mean they consider either it is slate or phyllite. I had visited Haflong, a hill town of northeastern region. Now it is in Ansi Hills. in connection with the construction of inverted bridge. It was said to be Chinese method and first in India. They claim, the project consultant and builder, they said it is the first in India. I do not know whether it is coming in other states or not. The formation was carbonaceous shell. Normally, short man should not try to catch the sky, because short man, in a sense, uh, nowadays there is a conception. Those who are degree in front of their name, they are little big men, and those do not have any degree in front of his name, they are very short men. Being a short man, I should not try to catch the sky. I do agree. After the site visit, we have discussed many things from probable landslide to new foundation methodology. Casually, I said that this formation is highly prone to landslip and landslide during wet conditions. I also said the expected maintenance cost of this landslide and landslip may be many times more than the original project cost. Will you listen to me? I am short man. The client and consultant PMC, they said that there is no chance of any landslide because it is hard mud stone. They want to say as slate or phyllite. But geologically, there are any uh, designation of mud stone is there or not, I do not know. Some says uh, this is slate or it is or phyllite. But shale is not rock. One must remember, shale is not rock. Shale is in between soil and rock. Intermediate state between soil and rock. That is shale. If it saturated, it became very soft soil. If it is dried, it behaves like rock. So their conception was there will be no landslide and nothing or sort of anything. And they also demanded that the hill is millions years old. After a whole road journey and about 5 and 1 hour walking, I feel tired. Suddenly at night, suddenly at night, rain started and continued for 3 4 hours. Morning I saw big landslide about 5 meter length. The entire cutting portion was sliding. Even today I feel guilty because I have some bad comments also. I once during that discussion I said all natural slopes are stable unless they are disturbed by human. The human is the main root of all natural destruction. So they may feel something. So I feel guilty today even. I remember a story of JICA funded project. Perhaps there may be some misunderstanding at the time of commencement of work. Japan is famous for teamwork and with quality. Our India is little different in the name of work or responsible. In our India, none shall spend sleepless nights together at project site. Even I never spend. Whether you may be spending sleepless night at project site, and but I cannot afford sleepless night. Several sleepless nights, 24 hours, 24 hours into 7, I cannot. As per Japanese schedule, India cannot work. There was a provision of pile foundation worth about 50 million Indian value, 50 million. Fortunately, unfortunately, I was associated with another job under the same PMC headed by two renowned American professional engineers, and both are highly qualified. So, very often we meet each other. During that time, I had another advantage for our uh, close friendship. During that time, I had 20 BTech final year, final semester student for internship. In this context, I mostly take my student to the project site to teach them something. Here, it is not wise to say for me I am almost 80 years old, 80 plus years old, and I am almost at the verge of my death. I am very sorry to say that the students of present age are a little restless and less attentive. In earlier days, in our days, students are very much hardworking and rigorous. Mostly, we visited with my students to the project site to show them the work, how to work, what is the nature of work. One day, suddenly, I noticed that both the American engineers were listening my lecture along with my student. Instantly, as soon as I saw, I came to them, but they forced me to continue. Since then, from that day onward, we became very good friends. Still, I am maintaining that friendship too. I am now coming to my real issue. We had discussion about foundation of that mega project. All of a sudden, I said, because this formation is quite good. It is very hard soil, followed by about 3-4 meters below. There was a massive gneissic bed with hard rock. So all of a sudden, I said, "Give me 10 million. I shall try to save you at least 30 million." They asked me to present a proposal. After 2 days later, I had presented the proposal of 45 minutes, and they forwarded the same to Japan for approval. After a week time, I was informed that the JICA people, the Japanese people, wanted to discuss the whole matter with on video conference. During that time, I do not have facilities of video conference, and in their office at Guwahati, they have that facilities. So I was going there. Accordingly, we have discussed more than an hour we have discussed from A to Z. What shall be benefit and what shall be merit and what shall be demerit. We have discussed everything, free and frankly. And everything had finalized, and pile foundation replaced by granular subgrade, which cost was very much negligible. However, for everyone's satisfaction, a series of dynamic plate flow tests were conducted, and this story was published in an international conference. So I am just giving the information only. See, this is the picture of the dynamic load test. There is a plate at the bottom, there is a sensor, and there is a weight, there is a free fall. It is normally 70 to 1 meter length. Free fall is there. So we can, and there is a weight which will be hitting the here, gypsum, deflection, and it will be this apparatus is connected with a built-in software. This control control box. In this control box, there is a built-in software which will give you the soil resilience. Resilience. Resilience is the load absorbing capacity. From this test, we can calculate. I am not saying the 100% accurate that type of plate load test or shear parameter estimated from shear parameters or like that, but it will give 90 to 95% accuracy. I have conducted a comparative study of this test and normal test in few locations of the on a foreign land, that is Bhutan, and after submission of this report, they have accepted instead of doing some time-consuming job, why shall we not go for this thing? And we did lot of works in Bhutan also with the help of this instrument. You see, as per the soil investigation report and the suggestion, we are we should go for the pile foundation. But when there is a hard base, why should we go for hard pile foundation? All the national highways, runways, they are on made up ground. All the airports of India, they are all built in some remote rural areas where the formation are not very hard, and this these are raised. The level of this from original level to uh, present formation level is quite high. We feel highways are 3 meter, 4 meter height. And there is this 20, 20-tonner vehicle, 40-tonner vehicle, 80-tonner vehicles are passing. A turbine, weight of turbine is 46-wheeler truck is required, trailer is required. The total weight is uh, 180 plus. So, if highway can construct it on the made up ground, why we cannot construct a 15-ton meter basic, uh, 15 ton per meter square load for a structure? We can. We should think about it. We should try about it. We should prove it by conducting some simple test. We should prove it. However, this is all these are out of the textbook. I am not going any reference to any textbook. Textbook you have already read several times. Repeatedly we are reading always textbook. But I am out of textbook, my experience are living here. Another instance, once in 80s, in 1880s, very lucrative Nobel project was given to our state of Assam, that's the Vivekananda Cultural Center by Sri Ramakrishna Mission. For this, our 8 states of North of India and Bengal, Bihar, and in Gujarat also, they are also trying for this center. There were 20 applicants. However, because of some uh, political pressure or to satisfy the people of Assam, Northeast, we got this Nobel project. And I was a member of that technical committee, and all the foundation including geotechnical uh, testing, planning of foundation and supervision at my soldiers. It was a philanthropic work. So, since number one, I cannot ask for any fee, and number two, I have great regards to Swami Vivekananda. During geotechnical investigation field work, we find that the foundation soil is oversaturated soil up to a depth of 2 meters below the proposed basement. This was B plus Z plus 6. That means total uh, 8-story building. And the structural was a designer was a renowned professor of MIT Madras. During discussion, he did not agree to provide foundation at a little above the design depth, mainly due to this necessitated redesign and reanalysis, which shall be time consuming. In those days in 80s, there shall be price increase too, and some other states are running after the project. So this is really very painful situation for me. I was almost mad. I was mentally so disturbed whether I am taking my breakfast or lunch or dinner, I forgot. One day what happened, I have, but you cannot say that I am not discussing the matter some without renowned expert. I am moving from pillar to post, from Assam Engineering College, professor of Assam Engineering College, whom I know or whom I do not know even, and other colleges nearest to my Assam or Northeast, and to some my good friends at Bengal also, in other places also, Mumbai also, Chennai also. But everybody say that you cannot do anything. You should go for pile. You should go for pile foundation. It will be better for pile foundation. And uh, pile foundation means extra cost. And in case of extra cost, the project will be gone to other state. One day, what happened? One day I was coming back from Assam Engineering College with my old scooter. I, I want to add here one thing. I was a chain smoker today also. And suddenly I saw one old sadhu, that means sannyasi, which is normally called the beggar, sitting under a tree, and few others were sitting there smoking ganja. What the actual English name I do not know. In Hindi and in some places it is called ganja. I stopped there for lighting a cigarette. I started smoking. The old man, that sadhu, said, क्या हुआ? आपको थोड़ा डिस्टर्ब लगता है? I do not utter any word. Why? I thought, how you can help me when today's renowned experts fail to say something. He again said, tightening his wrist as if he will be uh, going to give a big blow. Himmat rakho, himmat rakho. I came home and I was repeating his words, himmat rakho, for 3, 4 times, himmat rakho, himmat rakho. And I observed my muscles of my hand became hard. So immediately I thought my muscles became hard. It was due to blockade of my blood circulation. I thought if I can confine the pore water, oozing out of pore water of soil with a provision of peripheral wall, and water is most incompressible, and raft can be provided very easily over it. Finally, this is done. This was the building. Now it is completed. Now it is completed. People are coming here today on bended knee. I do salute that great Sadhuji who, for whom we can have this prestigious and noble project in Assam. I shall pray God for his contented life wherever he is. I do not even know whether he is alive or not. If he is dead in heaven also, he should be in peaceful state. This is my prayer to God. Now I am going to another aspect. Practice. Practice is not a government or multinational job. I am 100% sure that it is very hard to survive as a practicing engineer. It is not just working at government department, attending office regularly, following instruction of seniors. One shall get regular income. Further, there are time-bound promotion with incentives, with all other benefits without any fear. One thing, it is true that what you know, your boss does not know. But what you do not know, your boss knows very well and good. But in case of practice, one must know much more than the clients and others. One should be updated with all latest information, and nowadays it is not difficult. All are available in net. Even from history, philosophy, geography, physics, botany, in my life having happened such type of questions also. You are at the time of a plate load test, we are applying uh, pressure on a ram with using hydraulic oil, and there is a dial gauge fitted in the pump. One gentleman, one gentleman, he was a renowned engineer passing out from Aligarh Muslim University. Uh, he asked one question: you pressure is here, and you are putting this side, and ram is going upside, and why, how you are getting the pressure at base? I thought since we are applying some forces, it is an action, and we get equal and opposite reaction. Uh, Whether he understand or not, I do not know, but he just put his hand on my back. Say, carry on, please carry on. Another in I am laughing now today. Uh, One gentleman asked me in another test, eh, how you sure that this pressure goes give record given some measurements how much pressure is there. How you are saying that the same pressure reacting there at a distance of 3 meters? I say liquid shall maintain same pressure everywhere. You say, can you prove it? No, it is theory. It is theory. No one need to prove. One Bangla has proved it. This type of bitter experience are there in practice. Being a practitioner, bitter experience is there. I face all this type of experience in my life. I suggested you and all to work with all type of people, all type of people to know something. Everybody is a school of learning. Do not misunderstand that. Another my bitter experience is another bitter experience. In early days, in early days, 70s or like that, we are doing any type of job what we get. Although I am basically my profession is geotechnical engineering, but if necessary, we can go for some municipal permission drawing also. We are group of people, group of engineers, 4 5 people of same age. We are working, and suddenly one day, one to our, we hand over a foundation drawing of foundation, uh, plinth beam, a tie beam, and column. We are giving that drawing, one drawing. During that time, making drawing also very time consuming. We have to draw everything by hand only. There was no computer, no printing, nothing sort of anything. The client was fortunately or unfortunately coming with his mason, whom is engaged as a labor contractor for the construction of the building. Just after receiving the drawing, just coming out of our cabin, the mason said to his client, साहब ने तो पेंसिल से एक आंच तान दिया, वो तो रथ बन गया, आप लेकिन मार्केट से रथ खरीदने पड़ेगा. दिस इज यही आपको डिफरेंस है. दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन कंसल्टेंट and the builder or mason, whatever it may be. Mason was representing his client. So these are all this bitter experience. One must uh, ready to accept all the challenges in life. I had associated more than thousands of projects in India, Northeast India, and some neighboring countries too. But unfortunately, till today, I am not invited for any opening ceremony, which we normally call as Griha Pravesh. Nobody has invited to me except one gentleman, one lady. The most respectful client was a lady, Dr. M. Hazurika of Medical College. She is professor of Guwahati Medical College. He has invited me for his Grihapravesh ceremony, and as a token of gratefulness, he gave me one charai. Charai means a, uh, it is, you may say it is Assamese memento with an gamusa made of some cotton gamusa. It is a, I still, these are my home. With more respectfully I am preserving it. Another and bitter experience of a bridge project where the client had requested me to post project report with very lucrative provision. First day I refused him. "Uh, इसको क्या चाहिए, इसको 2-3 मीटर वेल डेप्थ ज़्यादा चाहिए. I know what will be the benefit. At provision they will be 3-4 meter more, and actually they will be doing 3-4 meter less. So I know by in a variation of 1 degree phi, it will 18% variation will be safe, the bearing capacity, and variation of zero point 0.1 in particle size, mean particle size diameter, it will increase the foundation depth by 1 meter. I know that. One can do it very easily without nobody can find the fault also. But why should I? I am an I am a practitioner. I am practicing for welfare of the people of India. I am Indian. I am working for people of India. It is my service to the nation. If we are simply saying the service to the man is service to the God, and in practice we will be doing some uh, mis mal malpractice. It is malpractice. If I in practice we will be going for malpractice. It is. I feel it is in crime. First day I refused him. It will be not possible for me to make any false report. Then next day, the client and the owner client they also came to me, and they said me uh, if you take extra money for that the false uh, parameters we will pay extra. I feel discomfortable and I feel insulted. I humbly refused and reply, I am Indian and my prime duty to service to the nation. Money is nothing. A call girl of red light area are earning more than me. If I sell my heart for money, what shall be the difference between me and a call girl? Anyway, the owner client, he, uh, he was a reasonable and good man. He finally realized and he had supported me during his entire service life when he was uh, top of the public department. Uh, he gave me for bridge consultancy works about 18 or 19 bridges. So there are some good men, there are some bad men. We must face each and every one with same respect and same regards. Another thing, especially I am saying for my beloved young engineers, my respectful young engineers, practicing of any profession is a struggle for survival and existence. I am always saying everywhere where happen to be there that in early life lack of financial capability of practicing personnel cannot eat chicken and mutton, and last life after becoming slightly comfortable, teeth and stomach never permit to take chicken and meat. It is my own experience, may not be correct in all uh, everyone, because that my poverty says bound to say me in this way. Finally, but at the same time, I was happy with my work. I always saying that I am the happiest man of this world since I have no time to feel unhappy. I am resist also. I am the resist man. As I do not have any fear to fall nor hope to rise. I am saying I have started from 200 uh, due to price rise or something else. Because of our we one per annual income maybe 2 crores or 3 crores annual turnover maybe this much. In earlier I was in thousands, but I was the same person with same happiness. All practitioners should be work alcoholic. It will give you much pleasure. Young life is for learning, and every everybody is institution of learning. all must should work at site with unskilled and skilled workmen. One may able to get at higher knowledge, which is more than reading books. Books are, I sometimes I say, geotechnical engineering is not a theoretical science nor is a mathematical science. It is a science of intuitional judgment and reasoning. If you can judge with your intuition, then it will be very good job. One shower said, majority observe we need a simple forecast. If such forecast cannot be made by simple means, it cannot be made at all. I thank you for giving me opportunity to hear me little and hope to meet you all in somewhere else. Our world is nowadays very small. I am always available at this jcgogoi@gmail.com. Thank you all. Have a nice day, please.